Well, I thought we'd be doing it later anyway, so why not do it live? Why not? Um, I was recording some videos earlier today, so I thought, why not? Might as well. Might as well get this over with live. So, um, we are at this very moment in time, just 5 minutes away from finding out who our next prime minister is. Now, there have been some. I've just been listening to some of the commentary earlier on by some of the people from the Telegraph, because this was just a live stream that just happened to catch, or at least YouTube decided to recommend to me to watch it. And some of their commentary has been, well, Rishi Sunak might win. you know, he might win. You don't know. He can't count him out of the race yet. But anyway, Colin, greetings to you. Christopher, good morning to you. And David Walker, hello to you. Welcome to those just joining us. Like I say, we will shortly be finding out in literally a couple of minutes who the next Prime Minister is. They will be giving a bit of a speech. So we will obviously bring that to you, and I will sort of comment on it afterwards to see, well, let you know what I think. But it isn't going to be their main speech. We'll probably get that at some point tomorrow, probably in the afternoon. Like I say, we're having Boris tomorrow is off up to go see the Queen to resign. And then, of course, Liz Truss will go see the Queen, and then she gets to do her "I've been to see the Queen" moment. So that's one of the big things that we've got to look forward to tomorrow, I suppose. But we'll get at least a bit of a preview, shall we say, as to what will be said in Liz Truss's. We're already pretty predicting it. Liz Truss's maiden speech, but I'll tell you what. Being that this is a two-horse race, one of the interesting things that I have definitely seen. Hang on, let me just because I don't think did I share. Yeah, share audio tab. Yeah. Sorry, I was just making sure that we've got the audio when it's time to turn it on. But yeah, one of the interesting things, because this is a two-horse race, the odds for Rishi Sunak apparently winning today are 71 to 1. So I was very tempted just to put a bit of a flutter on Rishi Sunak, because if somehow Rishi Sunak wins today, I think £10 on 71 to odds. I mean, someone will do the maths in chat. Not bad odds. And to be honest, at the end of the day, you don't lose a tenner. So, but you've seen a lot of the Rishi Sunak crew, I think, today try and delay, I think, what has been the inevitable, that Rishi Sunak today is going to lose big. A lot of the Truss team today has basically been saying that they will be disappointed if Truss does not at least get 60% or more. And it will be seen as a disappointment if she does not get 66% or more. So we're going to have to see, obviously, what the results are. But I think the bigger majority Truss gets, maybe the longer honeymoon period she'll get. But as we've said, one of the big things for Truss, one of her big challenges she's going to have to face, party's not with her. Most of the party in the first round of that race did not want her. They wanted Rishi Sunak. And we've seen that happen before with Ian Duncan Smith. Ian Duncan Smith didn't even get a chance to fight a general election. So who knows how the the next 2 years will go, even if she lasts that long for the next 2 years. I keep on saying about the November crisis. I think that's completely right. I think she's got a massive problem coming up in November with all these current crises that are just going to all just mix together. and completely, possibly even just wipe her out. And of course, it will also be up to who she puts in her cabinet. And bear in mind, a lot of people said that, Boris was scraping the bottom of the Tory barrel. Who knows what murky depths she will have to dip into to retrieve whatever type of, Tory she's going to pull and put on her in her cabinet. But I suppose we'll also find that out probably on Wednesday, I think. Maybe we'll get some hints, maybe later on today, maybe tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, as always, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are moments away. It should be any moment now that we find out. So we are now literally just waiting to see Graham Brady come up to the podium and give his announcement. Yep. Yeah. I have you just watched my video? Yeah. That is one statement that is certainly true. Boris's shadow is going to loom very large over Liz Truss, and he will cause a lot of problems. So one of the things I am expecting is there to be some sort of clash between Boris Johnson and Liz Truss at some point in the near future. Because he's not going to sit quiet. He's not going to sit quiet at all. But we'll see how this plays out. Nick B, afternoon. So exciting. Yeah, it is. It was so exciting. My afternoon was free, so I thought, why not? Why not? I'm going to end up covering this afternoon anyway, so why not? So this is the thing when you're waiting for a live thing like this, you've just got to sit and wait and see what happens. I say as soon as we get... oh no. Oh no, yep, this is it. Right, so live over to the podium.
Good afternoon. Today marks the culmination of the Conservative leadership election. It's been a huge honour to be co-chairman of our party, working alongside Ben Elliott. And I'm hugely proud of the way everyone has worked together to deliver this contest, which has shown the Conservative Party to be in good voice and good strength. We've held 12 regional hustings, the length and breadth of the United Kingdom, attended by 20,000 party members. It's been a long campaign. 20,000 party members and watched online by over 2.5 million members of the public. The members' hustings involved our two fantastic candidates undergoing 14 hours of questioning and taking more than 600 questions from party members. And these hustings were in addition to the multiple online hustings and the media interviews. This concluded last Wednesday with a fantastic event at the Wembley Arena, attended by 6,000 party members. I'd like to pay tribute to Darren Mott and the dedicated team at CCHQ.
Oh, please do remember to hit the like and share button as well. Let's get more people in.
I'd also like to thank my parliamentary colleagues for their support throughout the process, and in particular, members of the 1922 executive, ably led by Sir Graham Brady, who has been the returning officer throughout the process. But most of all, I'd like to thank our party members who've undertaken the solemn duty of choosing our next leader and our next Prime Minister. Our members have engaged constructively, positively, and thoughtfully in the process, whilst also keeping busy getting our message out across the United Kingdom, something I've seen at the 87 constituency associations I've campaigned with in the last few weeks. Finally, I'd like to take this opportunity to say a huge thank you to our outgoing leader and Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. His leadership through Brexit, through the pandemic, and now through the war in Ukraine was never going to be easy, but time and again, he rose to the challenge and delivered for our country. It is now essential that we come together as a party and unite behind our new leader and our new Prime Minister to continue.
Get on with it. Come on, get on with it. Stop vamping.
Our new Prime Minister will build on the outgoing Prime Minister's legacy and continue to deliver prosperity, opportunity and security for everyone. So with no further ado, will you please warmly welcome our two fantastic candidates, Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss.
By the way, they already know. They've already been told 10 minutes ahead of time who's been won, so they already know who's won.
Ladies and gentlemen, to announce the results of our leadership election, please welcome our returning officer, Sir Graham Brady.
Thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon, everybody. On the 7th of July, the Prime Minister announced his resignation as leader of our party. The 1922 committee then organised 5 ballots over an 8-day period, concluding the part of the leadership election for which we have responsibility, and putting forward the candidates to the National Convention and CCHQ for the programme of hustings all over the United Kingdom and the ballot of the membership that is now concluded. I work closely with the board of the party, CCHQ and Civica Electoral Services to ensure that all qualifying members had the opportunity to vote and to ensure that our ballot was secure as well as free and fair. I'd like to thank the 1922 executive, and in particular my fellow officers, Naz Ghani, Will Ragg, Sir Geoffrey Clifton-Brown, Bob Blackman and Gary Sambrook, and our staff for all of their help and support, especially during the administration of the parliamentary rounds of voting. I would like to thank the party board and staff for all their hard work organising the hustings, which allowed so many members to see the candidates in action, whether in person or online. I'm grateful to CES for the professionalism with which they have dealt with the ballot in distributing, collecting and counting the votes, both online and by post. Finally, I want to thank all the party members who have taken this responsibility very seriously, all the candidates who put themselves forward for election, and in particular, my colleagues Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, who ran such excellent campaigns in the full glare of media scrutiny and who showed themselves to be outstanding candidates to be the leader of our party. Now the result. I, Sir Graham Brady, the returning officer for the Conservative and Unionist Party leadership election, declare that the total number of eligible voters was 172,437. The turnout in the election was 82.6%. The total number of votes rejected was 654. The total number of valid votes given to each candidate was as follows: Rishi Sunak, 60,399. Liz Truss, 81,326. Therefore, I give notice that Liz Truss is elected as the leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. Will come up on stage.
Yeah, not the predicted landslide. Not the predicted landslide. That could be interesting for her.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Sir Graham. It's an honour to be elected as leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party. I'd like to thank the 1922 committee, the party chairman, and the Conservative Party for organising one of the longest job interviews in history. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank my family, my friends, my political colleagues, and all of those who helped on this campaign. I'm incredibly grateful for all of your support. I'd like to pay tribute to my fellow candidates, particularly Rishi Sunak. It's been a hard-fought campaign. I think we have shown the depth and breadth of talent in our Conservative Party. And I also want to thank our outgoing leader, my friend, Boris Johnson.
Why would you thank Boris Johnson, seriously?
Boris, you got Brexit done. You crushed Jeremy Corbyn. You rolled out the vaccine and you stood up to Vladimir Putin. You were admired from Kiev to Carlisle.
Did you see that? Admired from Kiev to Carlisle and no one clapped.
Friends and colleagues, thank you for putting your faith in me to lead our great Conservative Party, the greatest political party on earth. I know that our beliefs resonate with the British people. Our beliefs in freedom, in the ability to control your own life, in low taxes, in personal responsibility. And I know that's why people voted for us in such numbers in 2019. And as your party leader, I intend to deliver what we promised those voters right across our great country. During this leadership campaign, I campaigned as a Conservative and I will govern as a Conservative.
So that basically means tax breaks and
my
God
friends,
knows what else.
we need to show that we will deliver over the next 2 years. I will deliver a bold plan to cut taxes and grow our economy. I will deliver on the energy crisis, dealing with people's energy bills, but also dealing with the long-term issues we have on energy supply. And I will deliver on the National Health Service. But we all will deliver for our country. And I will make sure that we use all the fantastic talents of the Conservative Party, our brilliant members of Parliament and peers, our fantastic councillors, our MSs, our MSPs, all of our councillors and activists and members right across our country. Because, my friends, I know that we will deliver, we will deliver, and we will deliver. And we will deliver a great victory for the Conservative Party in 2024. Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. So that's it. Well, as people are quite rightly pointing out, we're doomed. We're doomed. Literally, we're doomed. On a serious note, we are screwed. We are screwed. Liz Truss is going to continue what she's been saying throughout this entire Tory leadership contest, that she's going to deliver on this low tax, small government agenda. No one voted for that, Liz. No one voted for that. Levelling up, as we discussed so many times when we were talking about the difference between, you've got this levelling up agenda and the global Britain agenda. But you can't deliver both, because the more you want to deliver for one, the more it undermines the other. And now she's abandoned, by the looks of it, those 2 points. So no more levelling up. No more levelling up at all from the Conservatives. So bang goes a massive core pillar of what was meant to be Boris Johnson's big election campaign win. You've had her promise more crazy tax cuts. She says, oh yes, I'll deliver for the NHS, but deliver what? You've got to actually have a plan if you want to deliver something. And bear in mind, it has been known for quite a while. It's been known for really the past 2 weeks. This has been Liz Truss's race to win. She's basically been saying, I'll deliver on day one a plan for the energy crisis. Do you know what she's come out and said today? Yeah, I'll bring a plan out next week to deal with the energy crisis. People need help now. You've just said, I'll deliver. You ain't delivering help to the people who need it right now, Liz. They're the ones who need help. You ain't going to deliver for them. And guess what? I'm so glad, because you're putting the Tory party on track to a massive electoral loss next election, because there are so many crises, as we alluded to, of all this time when we talk about this. Now that she's in, she has so many crises to deal with. It's unbelievable. It's generally unbelievable. Because let's go through them all. We've got cost of living crisis. Prices are going way up, and people are getting to a point where, well, I've got a decision to make. Do I pay my heating bill, or do I buy food? How can we live in one of the most advanced, economies in the world, one of the richest countries in the world, as the Conservatives love to brag about, but we are leaving hundreds of thousands of people in this country with that one simple choice? That should not be acceptable to a country like that. Next of all, we've got inflation, because Liz Truss is bragging about that her plan is to bring forward all this growth. She's going to cut all this red tape. She's going to, challenge the Treasury orthodoxy and encourage growth. Well, we've got rampant inflation. So any growth is going to be eaten up by that very inflation that she's going to have to try and deal with. How are you going to, what's your plan to deal with the inflation, Liz? You don't seem to have one to deal with that. Energy crisis. You've got a couple of ways. There are lots of ways to deal with the energy crisis. Lots of ways. But so far, Liz Truss doesn't seem to have even committed to dealing with any of those plans. Instead, she's going on her own plan and going, well, we'll find some way for energy independence. Well, how are you going to do that? You've got to have a plan. Schools are in a crisis. We are losing more teachers from the profession than we can actually replace them. You know, we've got a housing crisis, which has been on the books for years. So that's at least 5 things she's got to deal with. Those are just 5, probably in her most immediate vicinity. You know, cost of living crisis, energy crisis, and inflation probably being the big 3 she's got to deal with. And so far, we have not seen her produce one single coherent plan, which anyone who has listened to a crazy idea of, oh yes, we'll just go forward and we'll cut taxes. How does cutting taxes help you deliver for the NHS? We are in for an absolute ride, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for an absolute ride. And, you know, if you are new to the channel, you know, please do hit that subscribe button because, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, are you in for a good time. Oh yeah, that's true as well. COVID resurgence. That this winter could be a possibility. What does Liz Truss do? Bear in mind, her party is now avidly like anti-lockdown or any measures whatsoever. What does she do? What does she do? Are we as Boris Johnson once suggested, let the bodies pile high? That is a real concern we have to think about. That is a very real concern we have to think about. And I worry now. I really worry because Liz Truss is portrayed herself as someone who can deliver. She said it right there. I will deliver, deliver, deliver. You know, the 3 Ds. You know, deliver, deliver, deliver. In reality, in a time, in any capacity, what has she actually delivered? Well, people will be very quick, I'm sure, to point to the time when she was trade secretary, where she delivered all these trade deals. Most of the trade deals Liz Truss signed were not new trade deals. They were rollover deals, pretty much carbon copies of the deal we had when we were in the EU. And sometimes in the case of Japan, were even worse deals than we had when we were in the EU. I worry so much what is about to happen, what is about to be unleashed on this country by the complete and utter incompetence that we have once again seen Tory party put forward. Now, I am slightly glad. I will tell you this now. It was not the landslide. It was not the landslide a lot of people were predicting. I can at least maybe give some Tory party members for maybe realizing, well, actually, Liz doesn't really seem to be the person we want. And I think someone put it in the chat. What was it? 24K difference between them. I'm not sure how we work this out in percentages, but we'll probably get that later. But luckily, Some people seem to have seen through her. Some people do seem to have seen through her. And in a way, I suppose that might be a bit of a relieving effort. But they've guaranteed they're going to lose the next election, which, well, given what we've covered very recently from a lot of Tories will be very, very happy to lose the next election. They know the next 2 years are going to be an absolute disaster. So best be, shall we say, on the out and out as all these catastrophes come rolling forward, which a lot are their fault. So, you know, for those of you in the chat now, not in the UK, you're going to see a lot of very funny things and happen over the next couple of years, well, the next 2 years in the UK. But for us, oh my, in a way, it's good for me for content. But I'll tell you what, as a British citizen who votes and someone who's a Labour Party member, I'm generally worried about the damage she's going to do over the next 2 years. And I'm at least glad that Labour are probably going to win the next general election. Because if she's going forward thinking that she's going to carry these true conservative ideas to win big at the next general election, as she just declared in that little speech she had, she's got another thing coming. She's got another thing coming if she thinks that's going to be the case. Not just riots. I think we're going to have a lot of protests. I think there's going to be a lot of strikes. I mean, today, bear in mind, it's the start of the criminal barrister strike. They are going on strike indefinitely. Just think about that. Criminal barristers in the UK, a core of our justice pillar of the party who today are meant to be the crime and justice party that they so often brag about being, they've gone on strike. What does that mean for our criminal justice system? Well, it means from today, there are no courts. There are no criminal barristers in court. We are absolutely screwed. I'm not mincing any of my words anymore. We are completely screwed. You know, Boris Johnson was bad. Boris Johnson was bad. But Liz Truss is going to be so much more worse than Boris Johnson. Because here is a woman who probably is going to be the Dunning-Kruger effect, you know, personified. Someone who thinks that they are smart and intelligent and has delivered. But from all intents and purposes of what we've heard from when she's been in cabinet, from other people who've worked with her, she hasn't done a whole lot. If anything, she's been far, far more happy to let other people do the work for her, which is probably why we've also heard today that she's not going to run number 10 like a presidency, that she's going to give, you know, the ministers more power to act. But act in what way? You know, you are leader of your party, of the government for a reason. A leader must lead. Doesn't matter whether you decentralize it or centralize it. We are so screwed on so many levels. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, our next Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Liz Truss. Predicted, yes. Dreaded, absolutely. Not wanted by me and certainly others, 100%. But get ready. Get ready, because her first big challenge is the energy crisis. And she is not going to be able to deliver, because she said it right there. She wants people to take personal responsibility. You know, that's why people voted for us, to take, personal responsibility. How can you take personal responsibility when your energy bill is suddenly £300-400, maybe even more higher than that than you were before? What if you're a business and you're paying exponentially more because there is no price cap for businesses? And she talks about an energy freeze. Today, that's the latest thing. Oh, we'll have an energy freeze. At what? These prices? People are having trouble paying their bills now. Yeah. It's going to be so bad. It's going to be so bad. I just can't picture how on earth the ideas that she's going to put forward and bring before the government, and let's put before us. And we haven't even talked about Brexit and the problems of Northern Ireland. We might hear about that tomorrow in tomorrow's speech, when she finally takes over, because she didn't mention it today. But we've got to remember, Liz Truss is part of the Tory party that generally does believe that Boris got Brexit done, and there's no need to mention it anymore. Guys, Brexit's over. Brexit's all done with. No, Brexit's still there. It's still there. So, yeah. Fun times ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Fun times ahead. Oh my. So, well, like I say, tomorrow we'll be covering Liz Truss's speech tomorrow when we have that. So look out for that. We'll also be having our Wednesday live stream on Wednesday. We'll certainly be covering, shall we say, Liz Truss's performance in the first PMQ she has. And of course, we'll be covering who goes into a cabinet, who's in, who's out, who's new, who's so atrocious that they were that they were fished out of some, I don't know, lake somewhere, But oh my, oh my indeed. So, yeah, I feel depressed now. I feel so depressed. I knew it was coming. Like I say, I'm glad I've got the afternoon off. But maybe I'll go cheer myself up. Maybe I'll go watch like Lord of the Rings to cheer myself up with. So oh my. So yeah. That's your lot, ladies and gents. That's your lot. So, like I say, thank you very much for joining us today. Watch out for more videos we've got coming out later today. We've just released another one about how much trouble Boris Johnson is going to be for Liz Truss. So that's on the channel right now. So you can go watch that after this. But as always, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Please do remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button on your way out. Please do remember to leave a comment down below afterwards. Like I say, it helps massive with the algorithms and whatnot. There is my one-off donation link down below called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And, you know, it will be very, very much appreciated in these trying times, because it probably won't be a coffee I'll be buying with it. It'll probably be something a lot harder. Certainly for the next 2 years, depending how long Liz Truss lasts. But of course, as always, there's always the Patreon page. There is the Pony Club, where you get badges and emojis and whatnot through this. And of course, as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, we'll see you all very soon. So until then, thank you very much. We'll see you then.